Canvas.
A little while ago, in a galaxy not that far away, lived a boy whose name was Jeremy. Now, Jeremy lived in an odd place called Colorland, which was so very original. Colorland was split into 6 different regions: Goldville, Blue Village, Green Town, or maybe it was Green Village and Blue Town, anyway, Orange Metropolis, and Shade City. Below all of that was the Free region, where people went when they were a weird color like red or purple or something like that. People also called this the Outcast region. Jerry lived in Shade City. That's where everyone who hadn't been sorted into a color yet lived. But today, Jeremy was going to be sorted into his color, so that morning he arrived at the Palette Palace. It was a gigantic mansion with a monument for each region, so all I have to do is walk in and they'll take it from there, Jeremy said, reassuring himself. He walked in to be greeted by a large front desk. He filled out a paper and gave them his fingerprint. Finally, after they had finished, they handed him a slip of paper with his room number on it. Follow the signs and find your room. It is there that you will be sorted, the receptionist said. Thank you, he quietly said. When Jeremy opened the door, he saw a man sat waiting for him. The man told Jeremy to sit in the seat next to him. He then pulled out an odd contraption. What is that? Jeremy explained. Just simple telepathic technology, he replied. Will it hurt? Jeremy shied away. No, my friend, just a little ticklish, he smiled. Then he placed the helmet on his head. The man was right. It was a little ticklish, but it didn't hurt. Jeremy didn't have any time to think before it was all over. Blue. All right, off you go, the man said. What? Where? Jeremy asked. Down the blue tube, he said, and pushed Jeremy towards a obviously blue tube. Wait, how is that? Jeremy walked away from the man, but tripped and fell into the blue tube. Jeremy woke up in a grassy field with rolling hills. He was wearing a new blue shirt and a name tag. He thought, this must be where Blue Town is. He looked over, and sure enough, there it was in all its glory. Blue Town. Jeremy walked past the boundary line and into Blue Town. It was there that he was handed keys to his new home. Jeremy liked living in Blue Town. Everyone there was nice and cared for each other. But soon a problem began to come into play. Jeremy was not as emotional as the other kids, so they thought he was emotionless, that he didn't cry with them in times of need. He began to feel different, and in a bad way. Jerry couldn't keep going on like this, so he returned to Shade City and turned in his keys. He was going to take the test again. The same thing happened. He was put in room 310, the ticklish helmet, but this time he was put in the green category. The tube's over there, the man pointed to the green tube. Yeah, I know. He moped over to the green tube and jumped in. Jeremy woke up in a grassy land, but it was different than the blue landscape. It had trees and flowers. He breathed in deeply and noticed that he had a new green shirt on. He looked to his right and boom, Green Village. He found that in a way, Green Village was different too. It had houses instead of apartments and a lot of trees. He again was given keys to his new home. Jeremy thought he might like it here. Not too soon after, though, the same problem presented itself. He felt different in a bad way. He was looked down upon for showing his feelings too strongly. He felt more alone than ever before. Jeremy knew the tube back to the palace. He arrived and made his way up to the reception desk. Jeremy, she said. Yep, that's me, Jeremy sighed. I'm sorry, but it says here that you've taken the test already twice before. You can only take it twice, she said. But I don't want to be green anymore, Jeremy cried. Well, we can strip you of your colors and you can stay in Shade City, the receptionist said, tapping a few buttons on her computer. There, now you are in a green. Jeremy looked down as the color drained from his green shirt. Wait, but Jeremy started. Tut, we have appointments we need to get to, she said as a girl walked in. Jeremy was kicked out of the palace, so he went down to go sit on the benches outside. He hadn't been there long when the girl who walked in for an appointment quietly sat down next to him. Color problems, she asked. You have no idea, Jeremy retorted. You think you're the only one, but that's not true, the girl said. Think you're alone, but people are there for you. Well, it doesn't seem like that. I can't find where I belong. I'm an oddball. I had the same problem when I was being sorted, she recalled. Really? Then what are you now, blue? In a way. I'm not just one color, I'm all of the colors. What? Jeremy looked up at her. Whoa, you're... Yeah, my colors. They're faint, but definitely there. The girl was covered in an aroma of all of the colors. But who are you? Jeremy stammered. I'm Melody, and I'm not defined by a color. On the outside, there are lots of colors, but inside me, there are colors that haven't even been invented yet. Where do you live? In the Palette Palace. The administration lets me stay there till they make another region for people with more than one color. I think I want to be like that. Jeremy watched her colors fascinated. Well, it's easy. You just have to let yourself be you, not a label someone puts on you. Sounds easy enough. Wow, I feel a lot better. Happier than I've ever been before, Jeremy smiled. Alright then. What's your name?
Oh, I'm Jeremy. Wait, or am I? What if I want to change my name too? How does Jack sound? Oh, it felt like a Jack would fit me better. Slow your roll. Jeremy is just fine.
Jeremy realized that day that he didn't need approval from anyone else but himself. And no matter what, he was Jeremy, not a color or label someone had assigned him. And so, Jeremy and Melody lived on in the Pellet Palace until the new region was developed and they became the pioneers of the PRISM region. PRISM standing for Politically and Racially Integrated Society for Mankind. You're welcome.